Big Zeus. Pull up to the gate at 1600 on the map. Yeah, supposed to be the people's house. I make it like a trap. Marble floors and chandeliers. I'm balling through the wall. Power to the people. Yeah, I gotta make that call. Trapping for the team, red and white and blue. That's me. Voices on the block. I'm breaking through. I got the key. I'm in the lobby. Yeah, I'm moving like an OG. Posted in the Oval Office in the executive suite. Yeah, signing for the fam. Yeah, you know my game strong. Freedom is the banner, and I got my chains on. Secret Service watching snipers sitting on the roof. Truth is hitting hard. I bury you inside the booth. Founding father's vision. Yeah, I'm flexing with this cash. Big pharma, big tech, turn these dreams to bags. I'm the voice of the hood, trying to come and storm the gates. Balance in my hand, but the system's overweight. They paint it white, yeah, but the stains running deep. Promise they selling it, but you know it ain't coming cheap. Legends walk these rooms, Lincoln, MLK. Now it's photo ops, power plays all day. I'm trapping for the vote. Big Zeus, it's the people's house. Big Zeus, powers in the air. Big Zeus, yeah, we knocking on the door. Big Zeus, we wanna hear your soul. Yeah, yeah. Who you think they asking for? They asking for that smoke. People or them players, yeah, I think this is a joke. Take it back and write the code. 1600, got your soul. Put my portrait on the wall, they staring at me like I'm cold. Greatest story ever told, I will never ever fold. I'm trapping out the west, yeah, doing deals all in the dark. Make your dreams come true. All I need is a spark. Red phone ringing, but you don't know who is on my line. Got the Constitution jumping, yeah, you know I'm so divine. No stains on my kicks and the rally outside. And the gates is locked. This power never divides. Spitting for the block, yeah. Buses make them wanna fight. 1600, do it all day. All night, the people's house is a trap. Got the power, get it back. Money talk, loud, time to clap. Fight for the keys, that's a fact. It's a rap, I'ma bring it back. In the people's house, powers in the air. Yeah, it's the people's house. We knocking on your door. It's the people's house. We wanna hear it so. Big Zeus. Big Zeus.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do. Let's get this show started, and then we'll take care of very important business. All right, you know it doesn't take long to do. All right. Let's go.
It's like I'm stuck in time. It's like a curse, and I can't escape it.
Let's go.
It's deja vu when I'm running up.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Turn the note screaming, I'll be back.
Yes.
It's deja vu when I'm out here flying first class.
Let's go.
It's like every week I gotta take out the class.
I'm on top of my game, ahead of the class. You can tell that I made it. Look at my grass.
Cars in the garage,
So
tanks
true.
full of gas. I
Play the game so raw, I won't finish last. Look at all these people out there. Gotta get the camera angles correct. Good morning. Yeah, I just be going viral because my Zodiac. I got all these numbers on my spreadsheet. Am I right, Heaven? Hit 'em. You voted for Tim Wall? I did. Yeah, I did do that. I voted for Tim Wall. Listen up. And I can see them. They're up bright and early this morning. I don't know what got into them. All right, let's do it. You got some Zeus haters out there. Listen up. This is how they sound right here. Here you go.
I'll tell you what, I haven't gone into Zeus's live in a couple of days.
You haven't?
Shit was radical.
Very radical.
It was horrible. I'm like, Zeus has gone way off.
Oh.
It's like deja vu. It's like deja vu.
Yeah.
It's like deja vu. It's like deja
Way
vu.
off the rails. All right, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we are back in the Thunderdome. I'm your host, I'm your pilot, and you know exactly why we are gathered here. All right, we got to do this wonderful and incredible work to save this great country of ours from the evil clutches of Donald J. Trump and his legion of what we call MAGA demons, who we all understand are hell-bent on destroying this great country of ours. And so with that being said, before I get into that, let me take care of some very important housekeeping items. For those of you who don't know who I am, I go by the name Zeus. Good morning, all of you, seriously. I go by the name Zeus, or some like to say Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H, ladies and gentlemen? Well, it's quite simple. First H is it's because I'm honest. I'm the most honest person on social media, hands down. You can just tell by the way that I run my platform. I don't beat around the bush. I just get straight to the point. All right, because it's very important to be honest in today's day and age, right? So that's the first H. The second H, it's because I'm humble. Listen, when you're a human being, you get it wrong sometimes, right? And so I make it very clear. If I get it wrong, I will be the first to apologize, all right? Because that's what I think. You apologize. That's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength, right? Let's go. And then the last and the final H, ladies and gentlemen, which is arguably, honestly, one of the most important H's of them all, is because I am and will always remain, you've guessed it, the most handsome. Thank you. And we don't brags about how handsome he is. Oh, Dino. I feel like I ran into you before, Dino. So you just walked right into the next part of the segment that I was going to say. So I imagine there's still people out there that support Donald Trump. Anybody out there still supporting Donald Trump? Yeah, anyone out there still supporting Donald Trump? Supporting Donald Trump doing crazy stuff. Like, yeah, you see stuff like this. You see this right there, ladies and gentlemen. Dino, you like that? Tiny Take Top 10. Y'all like that, huh? I don't like that. But I know this is what gets y'all going. Yeah. And that's and don't ask me to prove anything on this show. By the way, I'm gonna make that a rule. No one is allowed to ask me to prove anything, because I don't. When you have a president like this, I don't even want to see this disgusting creature sitting on the toilet like that. But you know what he's doing to this wonderful White House built by the black folks, our ancestors. He's just destroying it and building a ballroom. What a disgrace. What I'll say is this. I'm not even going to let the devil use me like that. I'll just say this. Anyone out there still supporting Donald Trump, let me go ahead and say this. If you do not want me to ruin your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, and everything in between, yes, including the McDonald's, all right, what you just did, drove through the McDonald's drive-through. Can I get a number 1, number 2 egg McMuffin, sausage egg McMuffin, because you know they like that. Extra hash brown and a cherry pie too. What are you doing? I'm listening to Big Zeus on TikTok. Okay. And then you're going to listen to me and you're not going to be so hungry. You just wasted all that money, right? If you don't want that experience, leave right now, because it's going to get very, very uncomfortable in here. I promise you it will. But get this. You don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, the doors to the Thunderdome, they have officially closed. And I take no responsibility for what's said in the show where the sparks start to fly. I just hope everyone that has actually stayed here understands they better grab their shields, grab their weapons, because we're adults in here, and I don't got time to babysit and coddle these people. And they say, Zeus, who are you talking about, Big Zeus? I'll tell you who I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. It's become crystal clear to me that we have a serious sickness in this country. It's called the whining white man, the whining snowflake. Yeah. Do I have any of these guys out there in my audience? Oh, Tiny Take Top 10. Yeah, he's an example. Zeus complains about Trump but makes money off of Trump. Tiny Take Top 10, Tom, you're totally wrong. I make $0 off of Donald Trump. Just like if you believe that, then you might as well believe that Donald Trump is paying for all the renovations at the White House. Huh? You think Donald Trump is, spending his hard-earned money at the ballroom, huh? You think stuff. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. The whining white man. Black, brown people are bad. It's the same broken record with these people. They claim they won a civil war, but if you look at folks like Tiny Tank Top Tim, you can't handle a civil war. You got a war with your diet right now, bro. You got a war with McDonald's right now. You got a war with your wallet right now. You don't want a civil war. Believes all white people are good. Thinks movies are just too woke. These people, they just brag about doing crazy things. We're going to invade Canada. We're going to invade Greenland. We're going to invade Venezuela. Where are you going to do it? Well, we're going to get there. We're going to get there because that's the party that they're in, right? And they think the craziest things, like only immigrants commit crimes. The other day, and I can actually play some evidence. How many of you are tired of turning on the TV, and it's another Trump supporter? How many of you are tired of this? You turn on the TV, you look at your smartphones, and it's another It's another Trump supporter committing crime. I'm tired of it too. W's to the chat. Right. I get so tired of just, you go to yourself and you say, do people really think no one else sees what's going on in this country? You open up, your social media account, and I'm like, look at all these videos of ICE agents just doing the most ungodly things. I can't even go on the internet right now without a social media story or some sort of witness testimony or some sort of camera angle showing ICE agents doing, God knows, just the totally un-American. Let me see if I can get this. I'll give you an example. Let's go here. I can't even play it on TikTok because, TikTok, they'll flag you. But this one is called, ICE points a pew-pew at a pregnant mother, a U.S. citizen with her son in the back seat. Now, I could play the audio, but I can't show you. But let's just listen to this. This is why I say a lot of folks are going to end up going to hell when this is all said and done.
Get the fuck out of here.
You're gonna shoot a pregnant woman? Yeah, you're gonna shoot a pregnant woman? Yeah?
Stop.
No,
please.
he just fucking put a gun on me. Call the cops. Call the cops. This piece of shit of a man just pointed a gun at a fucking pregnant woman. Right there. Right there. I was going through this side. What are you talking about? My son is in the car too. He just pointed a gun at me. You seen it?
You see this, ladies and gentlemen? But guess what? They'll say things like, Zeus, it's your rhetoric, Zeus, that got Donald Trump, the Butler incident. I took so much hate for what happened in the Butler with Donald Trump. They say, it's your rhetoric. No, it's not. It's Donald Trump supporters. Y'all wake up and y'all breed, y'all dwell, y'all live in pure hatred and violence. And it's all over. You're just like him. He hasn't even been president for a full year. Donald Trump, I'm talking about him. Look at this guy right here. Look at it. Let's go back to him. Look at him. Out of place like a mug. He's already dropped bombs, boom booms on countries like Iran. He couldn't wait to get in the White House and start engaging in acts of violence. Y'all just like him. He's got our military, out in the Caribbean, unaliving innocent people with military strikes on boats. Y'all see this? So did Obama. You think Obama did this? Levito, and I have a rule. If I ask you a question, and I went to a guy named Wildman SC69 yesterday, and I said, listen, so say you have a kid and they get caught doing something very bad. They stole something from the store, right? Cops get involved. You got to go and check in and grab your kid, and then the cops go and bring your kid to you, and then you ask your son or daughter, why did you steal it? If your daughter says, well, I stole it because little Johnny up the street stole something, would you just let your child off the hook for doing that? Levito, would you just say, oh, well, my kid doesn't deserve to be disciplined because he wasn't the first one to steal? Is that how this works? I want to ask, where's Levito at? Levito, answer my question. Because whenever you bring up, thank you, audience, thank you all, thank you. Whenever you all bring up Biden, Obama, the Democrats, I go, well, that's not taking accountability. No, you actually got to take accountability for your own actions, and blaming somebody else for your decisions, your bad decisions, however they are, that's unacceptable. No, Donald Trump did this because Donald Trump wanted to do this. Donald Trump went and dropped boom booms on Iran without congressional approval. He did that because he wanted to do that. He's doing these unauthorized military strikes on innocent people because he wants to do that. That has nothing to do with Obama. That has nothing to do with Biden. That has everything to do with Donald Trump, just like the government shutdown, W. Zeus. And so let's see. What do I want to say? I want to get to something Donald Trump said yesterday. He was in the middle of giving his speech and, doing the ballroom and talking about that and things like that. And he said something that, to me, speaks speaks volumes to what he's got going on. So we're gonna listen to this real quick, and then I'll explain it. Hold on. Here you go.
Billions of dollars from China. I put the full tariffs on China. Biden left the tariffs because he couldn't. It was too much money, but they gave so many exceptions that they were essentially meaningless. In other words, here's the tariffs, but you don't have to pay if you look at somebody the wrong way. You don't have to pay. So they didn't pay very much. But with me, they were paying hundreds of billions of dollars. And again, I have a great relationship with President Xi. I expect to be able to make a good deal with him. And he'll make a good, I want him to make a good deal for China. But it's got to be fair. For years, they were making $500, $600, $700 billion. $700 billion, and we'd be making nothing. It was a one-sided, honestly, we built their military. We built China's military with the money that we lost for so many years getting ripped off. Mm-hmm. So now we're going to have a fair deal. I think we're going to have a very successful meeting. Certainly there are a lot of people that are waiting for it. Maybe it won't happen. Maybe it won't happen. Things can happen where, for instance, maybe somebody will say, I don't want to meet, it's too nasty. But it's really not nasty, it's just business, and we're going to...
You already said, maybe they don't want to meet. He said, it's not nasty, it's just business. It's too nasty, it's nasty. It's not nasty, it's just business. I guess that's what Donald Trump said to those when he was hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein, huh? It's the sickest behavior. It's inexcusable. It's evil. It's vile. It's not nasty. It's just business. While millions of Americans are on the verge of starving, it's not nasty. It's just business. Millions of Americans are about to lose their health insurance. It's not nasty. It's just business. I can't release the Epstein files. It's not nasty. It's just business, right? This is Donald Trump's mindset, ladies and gentlemen. He tells on himself all the time. And you know what's even worse? I know there's people out here that are still supporting him. And the one thing that really gets me is the women that are still supporting him. Now, I'll be honest with you. I've seen some women start to turn, but there's some women out here that are still worshiping this man. I ran into one yesterday. Her name's Stacy. Stacy, she knows what she said, and she couldn't bring herself. She couldn't bring herself to acknowledge that Donald Trump, not only is he in the Epstein files, she did acknowledge he was in the Epstein files, but she can't bring herself to accept the fact that he's out here protecting Pete 3DOs. It's not nasty, it's just business, right, Stacy? Yeah, it's disgusting, evil, sick, and that's why I say, she goes, well, Zeus, all the people that tune in and listen to your show, they let you get away with spreading hatred and lies because you never show a source, you never show a screenshot, you just sit up there and make things up. And I said, Stacy, well, if it was that easy, why aren't you successful? Because you got all the screenshots, you got all the websites. She had no answer, and I'll tell you why, Stacy. It's because it's crystal clear to everybody out here. Zeus is not possessed with the MAGA demon like you are. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, let's warm up the lake of fire. This is for all of you Trump supporters out there still scratching your head about why this country is going down in degradation, right? You think it's because of Zeus and all the Democrats, while the Democrats polling is actually doing very well. It's not that. It's because we all see right through you. You're all a bunch of evil, sick people. Ladies and gentlemen, let's send them straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, this is what makes me laugh.
You're going to be so proud of your country if I get in.
Right, remember this?
You're going to be so proud of your president, and I don't care about that. But you are going to be so proud of your country because we're going to turn it around and we're going to start winning again. Yeah. We're going to win so much. We're going to win at every level. We're going to win economically. We're going to win with the economy. We're going to win with military. We're going to win with healthcare and for our veterans. We're going to win with every single facet. We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore. Mr. President, it's too much. And I'll say, no, it isn't. We have to keep winning We have to win more. We're going to win more. We're going to win so much.
You hear that? You hear this, ladies and gentlemen? Any Trump supporters out there feel the way Donald Trump was feeling when he said that I guess his medication kicked in? Any of you out there winning like he just said? Anyone out there winning? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and I gotta talk to somebody about this, because yesterday we all heard this Pardon J6 rioter. He was arrested for threatening Hakeem Jeffries. Did you all hear about this story? Did you all hear about this? Okay. And so, when I heard this story, I knew exactly what had happened. And I said, I know how he got into this mindset. And it all started here.
It's such a big night.
It started here.
You just take a look at all of these states that we've won tonight. And then you take a look at the kind of margins that we've won them by. And all of a sudden, it's not like we're up 12 votes and we have 60% left.
Remember this?
We won states, and all of a sudden, I said, what happened to the election? It's off.
This is when Biden beat
And we
him.
have all these announcers saying, what happened? And then they said, because you know what happened?
What happened?
They knew they couldn't win. So they said, let's go to court. And did I predict this, Newt? Did I say this? I've been saying this from the day I heard they were going to send out tens of millions of ballots. I said exactly, because either they were going to win, or if they didn't win, they'll take us to court. So Florida was a tremendous victory. 300.
Okay.
North Carolina, big victory with North Carolina. And so we won there. We lead by 76,000 votes with almost nothing left. And all of a sudden, everything just stopped. This is a fraud on the American public. This is an embarrassment to our country. We were getting ready to win this election. Frankly, we did win this election. So our goal now is...
And then, we fast forward. This is what Trump told this Trump supporter.
Now it is up to Congress to confront this egregious assault on our democracy. And after this, we're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you.
Oh.
We're going to walk down. We're going to walk down. Anyone you want, but I think right here, we're going to walk down to the Capitol. And we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women. And we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them.
Yeah.
Because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength, and you have to be strong.
So that's Donald Trump literally lying to his supporters and then encouraging them to attack members of Congress. Remember? That's what January 6th was all about. Someone said, "Oh no, it was Antifa. It was the Democrats. There's the FBI." Okay, so Donald Trump is pardoning a bunch of FBI and Antifa officials. Is that what you want me to believe, MAGA, or do you want me to go back to what I was saying, which is he tricked you guys into showing up to the Capitol? He tapped into your inherent violent nature, and he said, "Come on to the Capitol and go after these members of Congress." So here we are. We're in the year of 2025, ladies and gentlemen. And it seems like Donald Trump is still running this operation, and we'll get this on the record, and then we'll get this to judgment. And this is why I say the most dangerous thing in this country right now, it has to be Donald Trump.
This is Christopher Moynihan on January 6th, and this morning, 9 months after receiving a pardon from President Trump for ransacking the Capitol, he's back in custody, charged with threatening to kill House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. Moynihan was arrested over the weekend on a charge of making a terroristic threat just before Jeffries was scheduled to deliver a speech. New York State Police said he sent a text message saying, "Hakeem Jeffries makes a speech in a few days in NYC. I cannot allow this terrorist to live." Court records quoting another text saying, "Even if I am hated, he must be eliminated. I will kill him for the future." Moynihan was previously convicted of breaching the Capitol on January 6th and being among the first to enter the Senate chamber, rifling through papers while saying, "There's got to be something in here we can expletive use against these scumbags." President Trump, on his first day in office, granted clemency to Moynihan and more than 1,000 others convicted or charged in the riot. 10 other January 6th rioters have either been charged, sentenced, or convicted of other crimes since being pardoned for their actions on January 6th.
I think the reckless and irresponsible pardons.
Other crimes since being pardoned for their actions on January 6th.
I think the reckless and irresponsible pardons.
Wow, what is that? Wow. You see what they do? Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen. You just can't. Can you see me? Wow, yes. Can you see me, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you for bearing with me. I have no clue what that was. I'm glad it didn't get reported, right? But it is what it is. I mean, you never know what's happening these days. All right, 1 minute we're cooking and booking, and then the next minute you see what we got going on. And so what we'll do is we'll just keep on going, ladies and gentlemen, all right, because we don't got much time. The other things that I wanted to bring up was we have another story, ladies and gentlemen, about this is serious. Now, this is serious. So a lot of us have been warning Donald Trump that when you get a bunch of incompetent people, right, you get a bunch of incompetent people to work for you. You know, they're out of shape. They don't have any experience in law enforcement. They don't have any experience in, de-escalation and training like that, right? You end up in a situation where we got basically the National Guard, in my opinion, National Guard versus ICE versus undocumented person, they say. And it just goes bad. It says federal officers said they opened fire after an undocumented immigrant weaponized his vehicle and began ramming law enforcement. All right. And so we'll get this on the record. All right.
Los Angeles. Federal officers rather, say they opened fire on an undocumented immigrant during an ICE traffic stop, injuring him and a deputy U.S. Marshal. The new video out of L.A., a man seen on the ground being treated by firefighters at the scene. Someone nearby also seen on a gurney minutes after the incident. Authorities say federal agents were conducting a targeted stop when the person they've identified as an undocumented immigrant rammed them with his car. The agents opening fire, hitting him in the elbow. That deputy U.S. Marshal also struck protesters gathering outside a nearby hospital now. DHS confirming both individuals are receiving medical treatment. On the other side of the country in New York City today, a show of force. Dozens of federal agents converging on Lower Manhattan and conducting arrests. It comes amid escalating ICE operations across the country. In Chicago last week, this chase captured on surveillance footage after Homeland Security said an
So what we got is ICE agents basically being assaulted by U.S. Marshals, ladies and gentlemen. And you can't help but wonder, how are these people allowed to run around these streets with, badges on and just unleash pure hatred, pure hell on themselves and innocent Americans? And I'll tell you why. It's because they're totally Oh, who do we have here? Oh, look at this. Who is this right here? Oh, did they run? It looks like they ran. Okay. I figured they called themselves. They got in my box projecting and putting a bunch of nasty things. He's trying to leave. Yeah. All right. What I'll do is this. You didn't come in here, under your own strength. A demon, a strong demonic MAGA demon force sent you to the kingdom. And you've been exposed. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to read their name, but they know what they are. All right? They know exactly what they are.
You're either stupid or you hate the country.
Join me in sitting in where he belongs, ladies and gentlemen. You see that? He or she, they pop right on out of that box. Join me in sending them where they belong. Straight to hell. You got my internet all discombobulated.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
Got my internet all discombobulated with the demonic forces that you're carrying this morning. Nobody needs that this morning, all right? This problem with you Trump supporters is very, very simple. And I'm going to keep saying, I promise you, they're going to get in my box, probably typical white guy, and they're somehow going to explain to me how they're a victim of some sort, right? And it never ceases to amaze me that you all find some of the most strangest ways to paint yourselves into victims. Whatever happened to pulling yourselves up by your bootstraps and making something of yourselves? And where's that guy Scott at? Scott, I wanted to bring you back in here because last week you gave me some information about your medical insurance and you left us a phone number. And I just wanted to let you know, Scott, because Scott's worried about his medical insurance expiring at the end of the year. The first time he gave me a number, I looked it up. Then he comes back. Well, no, Zeus, that's not the name of the healthcare provider. Remember, he said it was Dedigo. Now he said it's First Health or something like that. Gave me a different number. I want you to know. Called that number up, and guess what? It's a BS number, so that's a W Zeus. Scott, you're gonna lose your medical insurance, all right? And I'm just gonna say that, all right? And don't give us no more fake numbers, all right? Yeah, let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Who do we got next? Oh, who do we got right here? Somebody sent me a request, Levito. Welcome, Levito. How can I help you this morning?
What's up? I mean, I've been in here earlier since you, and I'm here to call you out. I'm here to beat you in a conversation.
Okay, that's interesting. What's the style? What's your martial arts style you're using? Where
What do
you
you
been
mean?
studying? You've been in a dojo somewhere, and then now you want to come out here and test me?
No, what you mean dojo? I mean,
Yeah. What is it that you believe you wanted to call me out for? Because here's the thing: if I'm wrong, I have no problem admitting it. What is it?
well, I mean, no, well, literally, first off, I just want to tell you, I voted for Trump. I voted red down ballot. If I could go back in time to November 6th, I wouldn't vote for him. But I wouldn't vote at all. That doesn't mean I would vote for who you voted for. I just wouldn't vote at all, probably.
Okay, so what changed?
I mean, I wouldn't call out your hypocrisy, but what I will say is, in some aspects, I think, every president violates the Constitution in one way or another. No, wait, I'm getting ready to tell you. Can I tell you? So listen.
Well, I need you to just be a lot more straight to the point.
Okay, I'm gonna be straight. Because people say, "Oh, you want to give Trump?"
Not every president violates the Constitution.
Yeah, I mean, we all know.
And
Obama.
I think it was November 5th, not the 6th, right?
Well, November 6th is when we got the elections that night. That the landslide election was over. So, yeah, but either way, no. I feel like Trump in some ways has a blatant disdain. Like he just doesn't feel like he has to follow the Constitution, and I have a problem with that. I have a problem with anybody who feels like they don't have to follow the Constitution. And that's me being serious.
Okay. Okay, yeah. and so that goes back to what were you paying attention to leading up to the election?
Well, I don't listen to fear. Like I said, just
so
listen.
Say that I would say, Zeus, you were right the whole time. He's a criminal.
No, I don't listen.
When a person has a record like that, bro, what you're saying right now, I'm like, welcome to the party. Like seriously, I've already been there. We knew this. It's to me, it's embarrassing in a way to know that you actually have the ability to be a critical thinker, think totally independently, and here we are in October of 2025, and you're now coming to the same conclusion many of us had already came to. What does that say about you?
But listen, I mean, you're not even letting me explain. What I'm telling you, we'll put it over the limit was this young Republican group chat that came out. And I like Mike Johnson because Mike Johnson condemned it, but J.D. Vance didn't condemn it, and I had a problem with it. He said, kids will be kids, and don't get me wrong, kids do dumb things, but these guys were like 40. I mean, they're 3 years younger than J.D. Vance. I mean, that ain't no kid. That ain't no kid. Yeah. So I mean, that put it over the top for me. But I don't believe Donald Trump thinks like those young Republicans do. I think he just cares about money. But I do have a problem in some aspects. I'm a Second Amendment full-blown advocate, and I think Donald Trump he's doing things I don't like. But either way, I want to call out your hypocrisy. That's what I'm up here to beat you on.
You can call out my hypocrisy, but I want to address a little bit of what you just said. All right. Okay. So in my opinion, you are the company you keep, right? You can look at a person, tell by the 5 people that they keep themselves around that this is kind of the person's personality. You understand how that works, right? The veto. Yeah. So if I see you hanging out with a bunch of bad people, I have to use common sense to go, well, either he's a bad person or he's okay with these people being bad, right? So it doesn't really excuse you. You get what I'm saying, Levito?
I mean, yeah.
So you've listed some of the people Donald Trump has been associated with. These are people Donald Trump selected, right? So J.D. Vance, he selected J.D. Vance to be his vice president. He hung out with Jeffrey Epstein, right? I mean, these are just people that I can think of right off the top of my head that he knows. We got other people, Stephen Miller, right? You know who these people are?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and the list goes on and on, bro. Honestly, the young Republicans, there's people in Congress, Jim Jordan, and how do you sit there and struggle to grasp that Donald Trump is a bad person, especially when I layer that with the fact that he's been clearly convicted of crimes. Prior to that, he was impeached 2 times. And then, going back to the crimes, he's been indicted on multiple fronts. You can't walk away from that without having the conclusion that Donald Trump is a bad person too. And then he himself engages in racist behavior. Now that I think about it, right?
What?
We could go back to,
The birtherism?
the housing discrimination back when,
that was in the 70s. Everybody was racist.
Okay.
Everybody was racist.
Okay,
he was born in the 40s. Wait, do you think any white person?
What about the comments he said about Kamala Harris? Is she black? I mean, come on.
Yeah, that was racist. That was racist.
Yeah, black jobs. I mean, so let's not pretend like Donald Trump is not a racist person on my show, all right? Because I'll take great offense to that, Levito. I want to give you a little bit of encouragement because, better late than never. It's good that you're starting to see that some of the things going on in your party aren't really that great. Because what blew my mind about the young Republicans, and it's still blowing my mind, is this. Remember when they were accusing the Democrats of calling them fascists? Remember this?
Yeah.
But every time you turn on the TV, they got something going on with them acting like fascists or calling themselves fascists and using just all kinds of fascist things. They openly talk about it. I mean, J.D. Vance himself called Trump the mustache man. So that has to be something that needs to be looked into, right?
Obviously.
They're the ones doing it.
Yeah. I agree with you. That's what I said. Changed my mind. I said that was the last straw.
Now, but I also got to get on you a little bit. You said you wouldn't have voted. You couldn't bring yourself to vote for Kamala Harris.
So no, I still oppose. So this is the thing. I'm against. No, I mean, are you gonna let me tell you? I have to tell you. I'm not gonna be long-winded. So no, I still have my ideology. My ideology. Hold on, I got a phone call. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So no, I still have my ideology. Like my ideology is different from yours, but I don't agree with like Trump blatantly violating the Constitution. That's something I don't agree with.
I get that, but Kamala wouldn't have done that, right? So my question is very very simple. You wouldn't have voted for Trump, but why can't you vote for Kamala Harris? I'm a little confused about that. I didn't ask you to, is she an angel, right? But if you could vote for Donald Trump, a pure demon. My mind's going, how come you can't vote for Kamala Harris? Well, I mean, I guess the devil is busy this morning, Levito. All right, the devil's busy this morning, and so what we'll do is this, ladies and gentlemen. Levito is still struggling. He's still struggling. All right, so Levito, what we will do is when you get the courage to come back up here and be able to focus, I'll deal with that. But in the meantime and in between time, champ, here's the problem. You got a lot of pride in your heart. You got a lot of pride in your heart, and that's just as bad as you being a Trump supporter, in my opinion, because if you're lukewarm, the good book talks about it. He'll spew you out. And so what I'll do is follow the good book. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending Levito, who ignorantly went and voted for Donald Trump, but now is regretting it. And I know there's a lot more to why he's turning on Donald Trump, and it isn't just what he said. I'm pretty sure there's a lot more to it he doesn't want to come clean about because he doesn't want to lose the few friends he has on TikTok. I don't care. Join me in sending him straight to hell.
Silence.
Yeah.
You MAGA demon.
Yeah, you can't be playing with this stuff, ladies and gentlemen. You got to be sincere. You got to be genuine. Either you truly are repentant or you're up here playing with us. All right. Good morning, Liz. How can I help you? Liz, are you there? Liz, I assume you accidentally sent a request. All right. So what we'll do is we'll move on to the next guest. All right. Yeah. Good morning, Marsha. How are you doing? Good morning. Welcome to the show. Marsha, we are having a little bit of a connectivity issue as well. All righty then. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot. There's some connectivities. Let's go. All right. What did he say? Good morning, Patrick. How can I help you, bro?
Hey, good morning. I just want to remind everybody this madness will stop at some point. Justice and truth is so much stronger. But the reason why I'm calling this morning, Zeus, is I want to thank you for. I saw one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen on TikTok in my life,
What is that?
and it was Takesha's birthday party. God bless you, man.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow, Patrick.
You're welcome.
You like that?
Yes,
You
yes.
huh?
It was one of the most beautiful things.
Wow, look at that, Takesha. You got Patrick up here in tears. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give Patrick a huge round of applause. Because I don't push, they say I push hate, but it's proof, honestly, that it's not just hate over here that's keeping this community together. We do it because we really truly love the country and we love each other, right, Patrick?
Yes, amen to that. And they can't steal the word love. They can try to twist those words around and use them for their own hatred. But justice and truth is just plain as simple. You can't hide a house on a hill.
Nope.
And love will prevail. Thank you, Zeus. I'm going to go. Take care, everybody.
All right.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Short. W. Patrick, yeah, that's short and sweet, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen, let's go. All right. Do we have any Trump voters out there? Where are the Trump voters at this morning? We need to get a good Trump voter up here so we can finish our conversations, because I really want to know what is Donald Trump doing right now that has you all still supporting him, right? I mean, you see him giving billions of dollars to Venezuela, right? 40 billion. Actually he's importing beef from Argentina. You know how that goes, right? W. Rick. All right, let's go. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. Identify yourself. What's up, Uncle Trey? Nice to see you. Yeah. I'm just trying to see where the Trump voters at, because they say, Zeus, you run an echo chamber. I don't run an echo chamber. I'm an honest broker. I'm an honest broker of the truth, and I'll hear you out, and I'll try to get to the bottom of whatever you believe is the issue. And I want to know at this moment, right? You're watching him destroy this country. He's destroying the actual White House physically. I don't know who needs a ballroom, but how does it look, right? 43 million Americans are about to be basically starving because their food benefits, the SNAP benefits, are going to be running out. They're on the verge of possibly their health insurance running out, right? And he's over here zipping and zagging all over the country, putting more gold inside of the White House. Yeah, he's putting gold all over the White House, eating like real good food, all right? Rebuilding the Rose Garden, and then the ballroom, talking about all this money he's bringing in, and you look outside and you go, wow, I don't see anything. I don't see none of that happening where I am. And then you go and you say, well, sir, how come I can't get these benefits? And he'll say, oh, it's because of the Democrats. Don't you dare look at what I got going on over here. Look at the Democrats. How do you think that makes everyday Americans feel? Oh, conservative Democrat, please, conservative Democrat, you don't believe that. You want to come up here and confess to all of us why you now want to say MAGA is extinct? I'll invite him. Watch, he'll give me another excuse. Come on up here, conservative Democrat. Tell us why you now no longer support Donald Trump. It only take 10 seconds. Get on up here. And this is what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. The cult is serious. He knows if he gets on TikTok, goes on the record, right, and says how he really feels, the cult will turn on him. CD is lame. Yeah. There you go. Okay. There you go. We got another one. Democrats need to vote on the CR, Zeus. Come on up here. Tell us how. Tell us why. This guy's always give us the answers. 33.
I can't believe you're this desperate to invite me up.
I know, huh?
Yeah, you can't get a mega supporter.
Now that's interesting. What do you think's going on?
I think that mega doesn't want to validate this particular form.
Oh, how would they be validating it? In your opinion, if they got on my show, they would be validating what I say, or what, or validating what Donald Trump is saying. I'm confused.
No, it lends to the fact that it appears that you're legitimate and you're just a shill for the Democratic Party, like Harry Sisson. How much do the Democratic Party pay you?
That's undisclosed information.
Exactly. You get paid to do this. You don't want to do this.
Actually, I want to do this, and I don't
Really,
think
you rather sit at home instead of gaining wealth for yourself? You rather sit at home on TikTok, go to the gym,
you know what I do?
come back. Yeah, I know you.
Okay, tell me
I know
more.
you. I know your ideology.
So let me ask you this: a man loves his country, so he's fighting for its survival, and you have a problem with that? I'm a little confused.
Are you speaking of yourself in the third person?
A little bit, but a lot of people
Wow,
feel
so
that way
narcissistic.
too. A lot of people feel that way. So let me break it down for you, 33. You
Yes,
don't
sir.
you don't know me, and you don't know a lot, right? And I can tell that because of the way you interact with folks like myself. You try to act like you got us all figured out, but you're so far from the truth. You look silly. Here's the issue. I could be doing all those things and more, but at the end of the day, I think it's a responsibility that we citizens have, right, to hold elected officials accountable. You agree?
Amen. Amen.
Right?
Amen.
All
And
right.
thank you for being an honest broker because you just admitted that you get paid to show.
No, I didn't admit that. I just say I get paid, and then we'll leave it at that. All right. But I've been getting paid all my life. You get what I'm saying?
Like Harry Sisson?
No, he's his own person. He's his own person.
Do
I'm
you
my
guys
own.
get paid
Hold
by
on.
the same person?
What? No. But what difference does it make? If I'm out here eating, why are you upset? Shouldn't I be out here and eating good just like everybody else? That's actually
It does.
that
It does
actually
make a difference.
hold on. That actually makes what I'm doing that much more important because now I'm somebody that they can point at towards you and say, look at that. That's a successful brother out there. You should be more like him. So, and actually, in a way, I'm your role model. You get what I'm
Okay.
saying? So
I do.
let's not start the hating, brother. This is
I
the
got you.
problem. Y'all want to hate so bad, right? If I don't do nothing, you know what you'll do? You'll get on TikTok and say Donald Trump needs to send the National Guard to Oakland, right? Why? Because Zeus isn't doing anything. Okay. So if Zeus does something, and then you get on TikTok, oh, Zeus, what you're doing is wrong. You're a shill. A brother can't catch a break, right? It's the jealousy that's going on. Jealousy is a sign of weak. Jealousy is a sign of weakness, and that's my point. You can't.
Can I reply to what you just said?
Well,
Because
let
you're
me fin-
filibustering now.
Well, let me finish saying what I'm saying, and I'll say this: I was a man before I got on TikTok, and I'll be a man after TikTok. All right, so let's not get it twisted up here. TikTok is what I use to do whatever I do. All
Okay.
right? And listen, look at this. And I've said this so many times.
See, you're going on and on and on and on and
I
on.
want to make sure you see.
You're going
it, though.
on and on and on.
I haven't said it to you though. Let me say it, and then I'll let you talk. You see this right here? You see what I'm doing? No strings attached. I, unlike you, am not a hand puppet. WZ.
No.
I'm not a
Zeus.
hand puppet.
Yesterday you had a lady, a Democrat that's running for office on your platform. Okay? You strictly take the left side on every issue. You insult the president almost every day. You have no respect for the office of the. Sir, I'm speaking. I didn't interrupt you. Fair?
Fair.
Fair. So, you have to have respect for the office of the President of the United States. I haven't heard you say not one positive thing about this administration, right? And there are plenty of positive things to say. For example, in the month of September, did you know, Zeus, that for the month of September, the United States American government reported a surplus and paid down the deficit by $45 billion? Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and look it up. Go ahead to your other brain, which is Google. Go to your other brain, which is Google, and look it up. In the month of September 2025, United States government reported a $200 billion surplus and shade. Hold up. I got my momentum going. Okay, I hear you.
Let me know when I can respond, brother.
And shade $45 billion off of the deficit. But you can't find any positive thing that the president is doing right. The president just ended a conflict in Israel. Yes. And you know how he ended that? Because Iran was funding Hamas. He cut the head off of the snake. The funding ended and Hamas soon folded. The conflicts that are going on now within Gaza are Hamas attacking Palestinians for brokering a peace deal.
So
but the
Israel's
peace
not doing
deal is still on, dude.
So Israel's not doing anything right now. They're just sitting on their hands.
You show me a report that says that Israel attacked within Gaza. Show me a report.
I don't got to do that, but I'll tell you this: what you just said is a flat out lie.
No, it's the reporting of infighting in Gaza,
bro. I don't listen. Okay, so here's the problem here. All the stuff you're saying that you believe has been done and is successful, I don't buy it, number one. So, yeah, you're right. I do have an honest problem.
Okay, well, do me a favor.
Hold on, let me
right now and put it on the screen.
Bro,
look up the surplus.
Okay.
Look up the surplus right now and put it on the screen and let your people who's in the comments know the truth of who's right. It only take a second. Go ahead. It only takes a second.
I let you talk. Remember how this is
working? No. But prove me wrong on the surplus.
Remember how this is working now. Listen.
Prove me wrong on the surplus, though.
You asked me to let you talk, and I zipped it.
Prove me wrong on the surplus.
Do I have to
hit the mute? You just said it was wrong.
Do I have to hit the mute button? We're having a civil conversation.
You just said
hold on. Jeez. The way this works, and this is my show. I got home court advantage.
But you called me a liar. So prove me wrong.
I don't want to do it. You know.
Right, because you know.
Strike. 33, that's your first strike. 3 strikes and you're out. Now, calm down.
I could care less about your strikes.
Okay, all right, fair enough. So you want to get up here and just showboat. You don't want nobody to push back against any of the points you're making. And then you asked me to zip it. And I was so kind because I'm Triple H. I zipped it.
Ask you to prove me wrong. That's all.
Okay, so number one, I don't care about the deficit. Did you hear me? I do not care about the deficit. Why? Because I had nothing to do with that right now. All right? And who knows how Donald Trump did whatever he says he did. He makes up a lot of things. We can't get him to give us any real data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. It's called a blackout right now. So I don't personally trust any of the data coming out of the current administration. So I just hold on. I'm gonna wake your game up, champ. Check this out. Right now.
You found out I was right.
If you got one more strike, 3 strikes and you're out, because I don't got time to babysit grown men. Now, I'm going to say what I need to say to you. The government is shut down, and if you believe Donald Trump is some sort of master negotiator and great deal maker, then how come he can't sit down with the Democrats and reopen the government? It's because he can't. Number 2, Iran is still able to enrich uranium.
Did you just ask me a question?
Hold on. I wasn't done.
Okay.
Iran is still able to enrich uranium, in case you haven't been following the reports. And these conflicts that you believe have been solved, hold on. And these conflicts that you believe have been solved, they're still going on. He's not ending anything. Huh? He's not ending anything.
And what percentage are they enriching uranium? Because they can enrich, but not. No, but okay. Listen. They can enrich uranium.
You're struggling right now, bro. I let you speak, and I'm going to keep. Hit the desk, pound it, because I'm waking your game up. And I wasn't even done. Secondly, you didn't mention anything about the $40 billion Donald Trump is trying to give to Argentina, all right, and the money he's trying to, and then the beef he's trying to import from Argentina while our farmers are sitting here struggling and starving. Yeah, I'm not giving Donald Trump any credit. Hold on. I wasn't done. I'm not giving Donald Trump any credit for this right here. Destroying history and then lying and saying he's paying for it out of his own pocket. I'm not giving credit to Donald Trump, who currently is right now trying to get the Department of Justice to give him $230 million because he didn't like the fact they investigated his crimes. Right?
Didn't Biden get money to Argentina?
Huh?
Didn't Biden get money to Argentina under the same premise?
He can't stop himself. So Biden could have done X, Y, and Z, and I'll say this. I don't want to entertain anything about President Biden or any former president right now.
But you mentioned him.
Yeah, because I can. All right? If Donald Trump is going to use the excuse, and that a Democrat did it, then doggone it, give me the Democrat. Don't give me a watered-down Democrat, okay? Donald Trump is the one I'm talking about, and this is the guy who branded himself as, quote-unquote, putting America first. All right?
Well,
if it's America first, if it's America... If it's
Listen.
America first, why are we giving other countries billions
Listen.
of dollars? Why are
Listen.
we allowing Qatar to put a military base in Idaho?
Listen,
and he says it's
can
not a
I answer the
military base.
question?
He just says, "Oh, they're going to come here and do training." Okay, yeah, right. Okay. Meanwhile, he's convinced you. He's convinced
during
you.
the Biden
33.
administration.
I don't want to
Joe
talk
Biden.
about
Joe Biden. You mentioned him though.
No. Listen, I don't want to talk about Joe Biden. Joe
You
Biden
brought
didn't get
him
it.
up.
I can't. I don't want to mention
Okay,
Joe Biden.
but Biden gave $44 million to Argentina.
Donald
See,
Trump said. Donald Trump said.
The
Donald,
truth.
hold on,
is-
no, because I
The
don't
truth.
buy. I'm not entertaining anything about
Let's
President
let's
Biden.
talk
I'm
about
talking
the
about
truth. You mentioned Biden.
Yeah.
So all I'm doing is giving a retort to you because you mentioned Trump gave Argentina aid. I'm just saying to you, Biden did the same thing. So why is it good for Biden and not good for Trump, Zeus?
You want me to tell you why?
Yes.
Okay. Let me see. Let me see something.
Look at you, Zeus. You
No,
gotta
no.
Google stuff. You're not smart enough, my man.
No. I'm just double checking.
You're not
something.
smart enough.
I'm just double checking. So
Hey,
so
you
you're
know
up
what?
here-
I need a show.
Yeah, you're up here lying. Okay, so that's how you could check a demon right there. Just put it in the internet and see if he's telling you anything that's true. Biden didn't do anything like that.
I was jealous of you, but comments. He got to Google his facts.
Yeah. So I just looked into that real quickly, and you got on my show lying. When you don't got anything, this is what you do. You lie.
Did
But-
Biden give Argentina aid?
No. And what I'll do is this, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, this is a brother right now he's a grandstander. Yeah, he's jealous of Big Zeus because not only am I more intelligent than him in all categories, I'm more handsome than him. The Riz game is on 1,000,000,000, and then he gets up here and instead of dealing with the fact that he voted for the worst politician ever, using the 2 brain cells he has left, he would rather sit up here and dance in my box. And unfortunately, it's not going to be enough to escape the.
But let's talk
judgment.
about the shutdown, Zeus.
No.
Are Democrats responsible for it?
Yeah, Democrats are responsible for it. Because guess what?
Democrats
Yeah,
are responsible
Guess what? And I voted for the shutdown. How about that? And guess what? Chuck Schumer got more power.
Recipients are not being fed.
Yeah.
And that's on the Democrat.
And Chuck Schumer has more power than Donald Trump, and the list goes on and on. 33, thank you for coming up here and making my morning. All right, I needed another soul to send straight to hell. Ladies and gentlemen, 33 got up here and lied his behind off. But guess what? I'm pretty sure he got somebody out there. He got someone out there's attention. I know he got at least 2 or 3 followers. All right, and they're going to follow him wherever he's going. Where's he going, Zeus? Oh, he's going where, DJ? Straight to hell!
Silence, you MAGA demon.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and that's typical MAGA behavior. So that we have 2 brothers that have came up here, and in one way or another, they've expressed very much not a lot of support for Donald Trump, but they're still hung up on Joe Biden and the Democrats. And so what this tells us is there's fractures going on inside of the cult right now. A lot of these people that are supporting Donald Trump, they know that the jig is up. They know they can't continue to support this man. They know Donald Trump isn't doing his job. Someone said I should ban that previous guest. I might. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. Look at this. I got my brother Santana. Hi, Santana. How are you?
How's it going?
Yeah. How are you doing, Santana?
Good.
I see you've been rizzing it up. We have TikTok success royalty here. I see you've been rizzing it up lately. Keep up the great work, brother.
I'm trying. Listen, I was trying to get up here to get the attention of the last guy that was speaking.
Oh, you want to talk to him?
Yeah, because he was
33.
so hypocritical.
Oh, 33. He was so. Okay. Yeah, I can arrange that. 33, come on up here.
Yeah, you know what's funny, and I love the what about Bidenisms, right? Mm-hmm. But they never actually make the connection or even want to actually critically think as far as what they're talking about. So he missed the key piece. So if he comes back, you know, I'll connect the dots for him. If not, there he is.
If he can behave himself, because I've disposed of him conveniently. So this is 100% you, Santana.
Good morning, brother.
Good morning. Good morning. Hey, 33. So question for you, because I heard you talking about like Biden sending money to Argentina and, you know, just how those things went. Question for you. Do you think that the problem that we have is that Donald Trump is just sending money to Argentina?
Do I think that's a problem?
Yes.
United States gives aid to countries all over the world.
Sure, I agree. So do you think the problem that we have is that Donald Trump is sending money to Argentina? Yes or no?
I don't think that's a problem. Zeus was the one that introduced that particular topic.
Sure. Okay, so what's the problem that Zeus and others like myself have with Donald Trump sending the money to Argentina?
I don't know. What problems do you have with it?
It's a compound issue. It's the fact that Donald Trump, while making this deal with Argentina, has given the middle finger to farmers, specifically farmers in Arkansas that voted for him at an almost 70% clip, who are now literally, not figuratively, literally praying to God that somehow someone come save them. Donald Trump is, at the same time that he is giving $20 billion to Argentina with the promise to give another $20 billion if this current president wins re-election, he's given Argentina, who has now made a backdoor deal with China to sell the soybeans, which is the biggest export that was coming out of the U.S. for farmers to China, and also a deal for beef. Donald Trump has not only given Argentina the ability to stay afloat, but undercut the farmers in their negotiations or undercut farmers as far as being able to recoup the sales, and kneecapped himself because now there's no incentive for China to come back to the table and renegotiate the tariffs because they're getting their products from other countries. So do you understand where the problem is now?
I understand what you're saying, but I don't think that that's a problem for the United States of America. How does that affect the United States of America, sir?
Sure, it affects the farmers. Literally, the farmers. First, Donald Trump's first administration, Chapter 12 bankruptcies for farmers increased by 24%. It was a massive spike. So far,
now, when you say farmers, sir, what commodity are we talking about here?
It's across the board.
No, it's not across the board, sir. What commodity? Is. We're talking about frozen. Listen. On the New York Stock Exchange, these particular crops have a particular type of, like orange juice, for example, not to be confused with soybeans. Yes. Those are two different markets. So what commodity? We're not talking about farmers.
We're not. No, you want to talk about.
We're talking about soybeans.
You want to talk about commodities. I'm talking about farmers.
All right, but what
you want to be specific? Hold on. Right. So, question for you, 33. Why does it matter the actual commodity versus the fact that we're talking about the farmers?
It matters because
exactly, it doesn't.
It literally
doesn't. It literally doesn't.
Hold up, let me finish. I'm trying to get the words. Yeah. It matters because China, for example, imports soy, right? So, say for example, if there's a tariff going on or a tariff war, and that particular product is being affected, that's not going to affect the price of orange juice. That's not going to affect the price of corn. That's not going to affect the price of avocados. Those are different markets. So when I'm asking for specifics, I'm asking you what commodity is being affected. Now, from what I read in the chat, they're saying soybeans. Is that correct?
That's one of them. But again, so your point is that speaking on the different commodities, you do understand that farmers don't necessarily just grow one thing, right? You understand that most farmers actually have a rotation on season, off season.
That's not true.
That's not true. Absolutely true.
That's not true. A tobacco
absolutely
farmer,
true.
Sir, a tobacco farmer can only grow tobacco.
33.
Because
listen to what I'm saying.
After you grow tobacco, the land
Hey, bud.
33.
Please listen to what I'm saying. Most farmers, not all, most farmers grow multiple products and they have rotations on and off seasons. Not
so
every single one, because I agree.
Give me a percentage.
You go look it up, bud. Listen,
Hold up. You're going to give me a fact. You're going to say something to me and then tell me to go
you
look it up?
introduced the fact
You're
that
supposed to have the facts already in
60%.
hand.
I just looked it up because I wanted to double check Santana. 60%. So 33 zip it. And just please.
Okay, I just asked the question. That's it.
So
There you go.
apologize for saying that Santana wasn't telling the truth.
I didn't say that.
You did. You implied it.
I didn't imply it. I asked for him for clarity.
Well,
That's it.
I just gave you the percentage, 60%. So
Okay.
that's a W
Okay.
Santana in the chat, W Santana, and no. And what we're gonna do is this, and I'm keeping track of the score. 33.
There is no score.
It's about to be a blowout. All right,
Listen,
please continue, Santana.
I just want to call out that the largest. I just want to call out the largest. I just want to call out the largest exports from U.S. farmers to. Sure, the largest exports from U.S. farmers to China. Yes, soybean is number one, but there's soybeans, beef, cotton, grains, corn, and then other things like pork, wheat, and canola. So when I say farmers, and the reason why I say farmers, and I'm not just talking soybeans, there are a plethora of different products that are exported to China. Yes, soybeans is the biggest thing because they buy the most soybeans from the United States, but they buy so many other things. That's why I'm talking about the impacts to the farmers and not just specifically the. Did he run? He ran.
Ladies and gentlemen, Elvis has left the building. He left the building. Santana, W Santana. I mean, hey, bro.
They always run, Zeus.
You did an outstanding job bringing him back up and knocking him out again like that. It's crazy how you were able to do that. All right. I mean, but it's good. Did you make your point, or do you really want to get the rest of that out?
I'll land my plane here. The point that I'm trying to make is that Donald Trump. The big issue is not only is Donald Trump sending foreign aid when people here in the U.S. need that aid. There's a reason why he's doing that. Zeus, if you don't know, Argentina is the latest country to open up and take foreign investors in multiple ways, right? They are initiating a gold card policy where if you purchase at least, I think it's $500,000 worth of land, then you get a gold card to the country. You get like citizenship. You get access to all this other stuff. Wow. But the interesting thing about that is they have a ton of farmland. So if you actually purchase that farmland, now let's say you buy $500,000 worth of farmland in Argentina, and you let it sit for a couple of years, that same $500,000 investment will be worth millions, right? And you know who has taken advantage of this recent opening investments for Argentina?
Who?
Donald Trump's billionaire buddies. Wow. So what it boils down to is there are a lot of people connected with Donald Trump that have massive amounts of investments in Argentina. And so if Argentina flops, then those investments flop as well. So just like Donald Trump did his first term with OPEC Plus, when his billionaire oil baron buddies came to him and said, "Hey, we're losing money hand over fist," they're tugging at Trump again and saying, "Hey, we got an issue at Argentina. We need you to take care of it." Wow. That's the connective tissue. That's what people don't understand.
Wow. So once again, it's Donald Trump first and not America first.
Always.
W. Santana. I knew there was a grift.
That's what they do.
Yeah, I knew there was a grift behind it in one way or another, and you totally obliterated 33. So, brother, I appreciate you. All right.
I appreciate you. I'm going to drop back down and keep listening.
All righty, then, W. Santana. Wow. 33. The jig's up. I see you, handsome liberal. What's going on, champion? All right, let's move on to our next panelist. All right, who do we have? Good morning, Attacking. How can I help you, brother?
While you guys were talking, I thought I would do a little search. The farmers, in regards to commodities, that filed bankruptcy under Trump's first term. Soybean, corn, dairy. Wheat, cotton, hogs, pork. So multiple
commodities. Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, but the thing is this. Zeus, would you like to work smarter than harder or harder than smarter?
Smarter.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say
one of these.
let's say you were making $5,000 a month for being on TikTok for 2 hours a day.
Okay.
That's pretty goddamn darn smart, isn't it?
I would say.
Because that means you have the rest of the day to do whatever you want, right?
Pretty much.
60 grand a year being on a telephone for 2 hours a day?
Yeah.
Just talking about things that Donald Trump's doing?
Yeah.
That's almost
W attack.
We're working from home in your jammies, having a cup of coffee.
Well, you know, I was just drinking some coffee. Yeah. I was just drinking some coffee. So what you're saying is these people they're insecure about what I do or something? I don't know.
Why the heck why do they always have to say you're being paid? So what? If you were, great. They're just jealous because they're not.
Yeah. Oh.
I mean,
because the math you just did, you know, you made Tiny Tank Top Tim very sad.
Yeah, I mean, if I was getting paid $5 grand a month, being on the phone 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, I'm making 60 grand a year doing nothing other than talking, spreading information out that our current president is doing certain things, using his actions and his words, not lying about anything, using what he says and does.
Yeah.
Talking to people like me, Santana, Q-Dog, Val, Ange, Shay, Takesha, and Trump supporters when they come up here and they complain and whine and cry. There's not one person with a brain cell that works, and of course we're talking about MAGA right now.
Yeah.
Because they don't have any that work.
Yeah.
Do you think anyone?
You didn't add handsome in there because that goes along.
Handsome liberal?
Well, he could be handsome liberal, but in the kingdom, you know how this goes. There's only one person that's handsome, and it's me, Big Zeus.
That is correct.
And
I made a video of that showing it too. So
thank you.
Yeah.
No love lost, handsome liberal. You can do you, but you know I'm the real McCoy.
Yeah. So the thing is this: under a realistic, logical basis, if they were asked,
yeah,
if I could pay you $5,000 a month to be on the phone for 2 hours a day, would you do it? They would all say yes.
Yeah.
There was not one of them that wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Because why wouldn't somebody want to work from home, making $5,000 a month, and doing nothing? I mean, really, we're just talking. We're just talking.
Yeah. Well, it looks like that attacking, but you know
there's a lot of work to
the
it.
recipe behind what goes on to a Big Zeus production. It looks very simple, but I've seen a lot of people get into this space and go, "What in the world?"
Well, you and I have to do research. I do the same thing.
Yeah.
I do the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, we see what's going on. We pull up the things that's going on. We try to be as equipped, knowledgeable wise with what the topic might be at the time.
Yeah.
You know, and when they switch, you and I have to be able to switch from topic to topic just like this. So we have to know what the heck we're talking about.
Correct.
So quit whining. If you guys keep whining about what he's making, why don't you take the initiative to do what he's doing, but on your side of the aisle? See if somebody will pay you for putting out the lies and hatred that Donald Trump is putting forth. And the reason why that's not happening is because nobody really wants to pay you to lie. The only people who are paying somebody to lie are you Trump supporters who are paying Trump to lie to you.
W attacking. Thank you. W Rick.
So anyway, you have a good day. Everybody in the kingdom, be safe. Just do the same thing you're doing.
All right. W attacking, and let that be a lesson. I should be, for you Trump voters that are getting in here, especially Blaga, and y'all look at me and you go, "Oh, I think I can do what Big Zeus does." Don't let that hater inside of you get the best of you. You should be looking at me going, "Now, wow, that's a great role model, a handsome brother. He's articulate, he's educated, he's got charisma, and he's handsome." Did I say handsome? He's handsome, and he's just. I need to take a page out of Big Zeus's playbook and try to make myself a better person. Because quiet as it is kept, W Deb, yeah, humble too. Quiet as it is kept, I engage people about politics, but what I really do is I help them see the light. I help them see the error of their ways and hopefully get them on the path that they should be on so that they could become, honestly better than me in a way, right? But it can't happen unless you first start taking accountability for your actions, all right? And this is what this is about, MAGA, right now. Listen, I survived. Oh, remember when Kamala lost the election? And, Zeus, this is what they said. Zeus, this is the end of your TikTok show. This is what they said. Trump is your daddy now. This is the end of your show. And they counted me out. They basically said, we want to see Zeus curled up in a ball crying his eyes out because there he goes. And here we are in the middle of October standing strong. And they can't understand how it happened. And they just think some of the most bizarre things, all right? All right, so let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, who do we got next, ladies and gentlemen? Who do we got next? Oh, my gosh. It's Melina. Can I help you? Yeah, dealing with unaliving threats. Yeah, you know what it comes with. Good morning. Thank you. All righty then. Let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I gotta get my good friend Shay up here. Well, oh. Hi, Shay. Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing all right, and you?
I am doing good. You had old Glenn up. That's Ohar 3 or Ohar.
Oh, old Glenn. That's his name, Old Glenn. Sound like an old bucket I used to. Sounds like an old bucket I used to drive. You had to put a little extra oil in it to get it to go down the street. Yeah, Old Glenn. That's what you call it. All right.
Old Glenn. Because when we get down to when we talk about people, but one of the things Glenn doesn't understand is he's right. We had a little bit of a surplus, but here's the thing in September. So he's right, and that's over taxes. It's a collection of a lot of things, not just the tariffs.
Yeah.
But under the Trump administration, they have spent over 1.78 trillion. So our deficit under Trump has added $1.78 trillion. So we're now almost $39 trillion in debt.
Oh, how do we keep going deeper into the hole when we're supposedly bringing in trillions and trillions of dollars, up to 20 trillion right now? That blows my mind, Shay.
You're right. So this is what is funny to me, that these guys will read a part of it and say, yes, we had approximately $198 billion in surplus, right?
Yeah.
From a numerous amount of factors, one being tariffs, right?
Right, they say.
But what they're missing is the exorbitant spending, although they did the cuts to the Department of Education and all the Doge stuff, but they have spent an over amount. So we now have added, in just his short time, less than a year, almost $2 trillion to our debt.
He hasn't even been in a full year and he's done that much damage.
Yes, because good morning, Mama Sherry. If you look at it, the Republicans, time and time again, are the big spenders. But for some reason, their base believes that they're not. That their base believes they believe in small government, fiscal responsibility, and they will balance the budget. But yet, there has only been one president in history that has ever balanced the budget. And do you know who that is?
Who?
William Jefferson Clinton.
I was going to say Bill Clinton, but you threw the William at me. Okay, fair enough. W. Shay. So, and he's a Democrat. Am I correct?
Correct. And
what does that say?
And Trump in his first term added $7 trillion in just his first 4 years. Wow. So what we're saying here is Glenn wants to think he knows all this stuff. Glenn.
Yeah, Glenn.
Glenn. You are missing the fact that, yes, we had a surplus, but they're not using the money to pay off our debt, which is what you think they're doing. They're not. They're adding to the debt. And so giving away $40 billion to Argentina, by the way, I fact-checked him on Biden giving Argentina money, and that is incorrect. He never gave Argentina money.
And I knew that. We looked into it, and it said, so he gets up here and he just throws out random things to see if we're gonna take the bait. But old Glenn, again, just stop. All right, no one's falling for these tricks anymore. We got a serious situation going on in the country, right, Shay? Folks are about to be starving.
Oh yeah, no, all the SNAP benefits, everyone's going to be starving, and they sit there and go, well, it's up to the Democrats. It's like, no, it's up to the Republicans to bring the House back open, right? That's what Speaker Johnson needs to do, but he won't do it because they don't want to swear in Adelita Grajava, right? They don't want to swear her in for the 118th vote to release the Epstein files.
Oh,
or 218th vote, excuse me.
Yeah.
218th vote. So they don't want to open the government because he knows he'll have to swear her in. But they have to open the government to negotiate with the Democrats. I think we could take out some of the part of the bill, the 1.5 trillion, for some things we want, and just put in the subsidies, right? For the premiums of ACA, right? So that people's insurance costs don't skyrocket. I think if they would open it up and say, let's do that, I think the Democrats would make a deal. Then it would go back to Senate, and they keep calling it a clean CR. It's not a clean CR because they added in these budgetary, like the ACA premiums. They added that into the continuing resolution.
Yeah.
Because they added something into the budget, they have to have 60 votes in the Senate over 51.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why it's not a clean CR.
Can't they just do the nuclear option, Shay, and get this over with?
Well, the Republicans could do that 100%. They could get rid of the filibuster. Yes, they could.
Yeah.
Yes, they could.
But why don't you think they'll do it?
Because they don't want to start a precedence. Because when we take back over, we could do the same.
Bingo.
It's bad politics to get rid of.
Or they don't want to release those files, I think, too. They don't want to go back.
There's that too.
Yeah.
There's that too. Once you do that, then they can vote on releasing files. They can get moderate Republicans on their side, 100%. Because the margin is only 6. It's 53 to 47 in the Senate. So, yeah, and it's good. So I just wanted to come up and talk about that. That no, we actually more in debt under Trump. So he's not using this money that he's supposedly making for America. And on top of it, I don't know if you discussed this, I wasn't here at the beginning of your show. He found a way to pay for the ballroom or get us to pay for the ballroom after all.
How? Don't say it, but go ahead and say it. Because it's not nasty, it's just business, is what I've been told.
Right. He said he is going to ask the DOJ for money, $230 million, right?
Yeah.
How much does the ballroom cost?
About $230 million. Now that I think about it, right? And then you add the Rose Garden in there. It's like that much plus a tip too for himself. Yeah. But remember, he sat there and he said, "I'm paying for it with my own money. I'm not even taking a salary." And his supporters, they took it hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, he said donor money. He said all that. He figured out a way, if I can get my DOJ, which is headed by his own personal attorney, right? What's his face? What is his face? Y'all know.
Todd Blanche.
People in the chat. There you go. Thank you, Todd Blanche. Todd Blanche was his personal attorney that worked for him in all those trials. So Todd Blanche got paid probably millions of dollars from Trump to represent it, right?
Yeah.
So now he's in charge of this part of the DOJ. Wow. So now that Trump says he's owed in restitution from the DOJ $230 million, y'all figure this out. So I would love for MAGA to answer that. Like, that's taxpayer money. So that's us, again, building a 90,000 square foot ballroom.
Correct.
That we don't need. Do you know how big the White House is?
How big is it? How many square feet is it?
55,000.
Wow. Yeah.
So the ballroom will be twice the size of the entire White House. That's how ridiculous this thing is.
Wow.
Twice the size.
Wow.
Just imagine this, to see almost 1,000 people in a ballroom.
All he's doing is bringing these people in there and telling them how much they owe him for being the leader. It's the sickest thing that I've ever heard, Shay. It really is.
Absolutely. And I know what Q-Dog wants to talk about yesterday's thing with Wild Man.
Oh.
That was interesting.
Nasty.
I missed
I totally obliterated Wild Man 69. He's a loser. He's the biggest joke on TikTok. And anyone that follows him is the biggest joke on TikTok, in all seriousness, all right? Because this man, It's not. He tries to be a decent person, but when I drilled down and helped him unpack some of his thoughts, I just told him it's bigotry and it's racism and it's misogyny and it's hatred. You hate yourself and you hate your country. It's the same song over and over again with these characters. All right.
It is, and the thing is that Q-Dog called me. He actually had a really good conversation. I mean, he can talk to you about it, but with him until guess who showed up and just made it all go nuts, like off the rails.
Well,
Miss Janae. Yeah.
Oh, that name shade, it haunts me to this day.
Oh, I know, she's gonna be so mad. She's gonna be so mad.
It's the most sickest name I've heard.
That's okay. She just keeps making content about you and I and attacking because that's all she can do. And so, but he called her out on dropping the N-word and all this stuff. But anyway, he can talk to you about all that.
Fair enough.
Anyway,
All right.
but all right, man. I love you. I just wanted to clarify some of that.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone in the kingdom.
Fair enough. All right, W. Shay, ladies and gentlemen, no lies detected. Yeah, she has jungle fever, Heaven, and again, it's the most disgusting thing I've had to deal with on TikTok. Like, again, a lot of people, they only see the bright lights when you get on TikTok. I get up here and I'm doing the Rizzler thing and hitting people with clever lines and bringing knowledge and things like that. But there's a dark side to this, and one of the dark sides is you got the bears out here who pursue me. And I'm not interested. I tell people all the time, I'm not dating anybody on this app for sure, because that's just crazy. It's bad for business. Number two. But I'm listening to them, and they make up so many terrible stories about Big Zeus. And then it came to me one day, and I said, and Heaven put it in the chat, these women got jungle fever. Yeah. All of these conservative women, they got jungle fever. Either it's for myself, Nutty, Q-Dog, all the brothers that come up in here, they sit there and they lust after us. And I'm going, never gonna happen, and you don't gotta do all of that stuff, get in a fight with me so that you can get my attention. No, if you want my attention, just be a decent human being. All right, so that's a W, Zeus. I was raised with manners, and I try to carry that even if I go into red spaces. But when you see lust at that level, you see these women salivating, you just can't help but get the visuals. In the Bible, it talks about weeping and gnashing of teeth. These women, they are so thirsty for Big Zeus. And I said, aren't you married? I'm happily married, Zeus, 32 years. And I said, I wouldn't call it that. I'd call it more of a hostage negotiation situation. You don't got a husband, you got hostages. And then they get mad at me, but I'm telling the truth. W Morningstar. Listen, if you are married, just stick with your man. Stand by your man, all right? And don't throw any of that hate at me to try to get me to react a certain way. No, it's never going to happen, all right, ladies? And I'm just being honest, all right? Now, let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. And I didn't open up that door. Shay opened up that door. And I guess now that leads us to our good friend, Brother Q-Dog. Welcome.
What's going on, brother? I'm good.
Yes.
Good with the thing.
What's good? What's good? How are you?
Oh, man. Yeah, I had to share this with you, bro. Of course, they wouldn't let me up on the panel while you were up there. They were trying to do everything to attack you from the left to right, from the top to the bottom. Wow. And I know they saw me in the chat. So when you drop down, they try to say that, oh, you're running. Like, he had to catch his Uber.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spend time with you on the same topic we've been talking about over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So when they finally brought me up, and
you went up there.
Bro, I went up there. And I'm not even going to hold you. Wild Man, we started out a little rocky, but Wild Man and DJ, we actually had a good conversation for about 30 minutes. And they were sitting back listening. I'm talking about with no interruptions whatsoever. And I explained to them, I went into the story that, that I was telling you about my grandparents back in Alabama that were slaves and whatnot. And they were actually listening. They have, felt sorry for, what my family went through and so forth. Actually listening. And even to the point where I apologized to both of them for my actions as a man. Because it ain't right for me to attack another man that I don't know from Adam, even though we, had jokes and whatnot. And literally, me and DJ literally was going back and forth in DMs. Talking about, the situation, and I shared some information with him. he thought that when we were talking about the DJ saying things that was dangerous, he thought that we were talking about him, and I explained it to him. And it's like he got it. Now, I brought up the conversation of there's certain people that are in your circle that can cause a rift and not be there for the good of you. They may say that they're your friends, but they're really not your friends, because a true friend is going to sit back and tell you when you're right or wrong. And the same thing with this administration. You know, nobody has the guts enough to tell Trump when he's wrong. So we come to the level of Janae's in the chat. I mentioned her name as one of those parties that had said some stuff about me and some stuff about our community, black folks, that offended me. Now, here's where we got clicking. Janae, he brings Janae up. Oh yeah, I heard my name. You know, she goes straight into defense mode. Straight being the victim. And I told her, I said, she wanted to overtalk him. Said, no, you're not going to overtalk me. You came up here, you asked me a question. I'm going to answer the question. Couldn't get to it. I finally got to it. I said, my ears can't unhear what I heard. When I heard your mouth, that came out of your mouth, the N-word. Not to mention that, the sweatback word when it comes to Latinos and Mexicans. I can't unhear that. And I started to, she kind of dialed it down a little bit, and I started to explain to her what I explained to Wild Man. All the while, DJ was quiet, Wild Man was quiet. Soon as I start telling her the situation about my grandparents, then we got, and I'm on your behind. You have put me in a position there. I got you in my eyesight, Mr. Brian Holmes, aka Uncle Ruckers. He comes up, we don't want to hear that. And I got word after that live that this is the same South Park character that infiltrated on January 6th as a blagger. And the only reason you walk in the streets is because Trump pardoned you. Now, I don't know if you feel that you owe him something.
What?
Yeah. I got all the word. He's all over Google. All over Google.
So I think what I'm gathering is you are having a very productive conversation.
Very productive.
Even with the bear, J Bear. I call her she was listening.
She was listening, but she wasn't. She was basically an infiltrator. Now here's the thing. This is what I was telling. I kept telling Wild Man. I said, see how we had a conversation and we were talking for 30 minutes with no interruptions, even to the point where he said, if you ever needed me or wanted to sit down and have a meal, I would invite you to my house. Now, mind you, when you were in there was over 200 people in there. Yeah. And it dropped down to like less than 30. Now, while we're having that conversation, now she comes up and said, I never said anything to that man. I don't know what Q-Dog is saying. I've never done anything to him. And I said, and he wants me to apologize. I told her, I never once asked you to apologize because I know you're not going to do it. You're not woman enough to do it. You're going to stay with your same antics and attack. She had things to say about you. She had things to say about Shay. She had things to say about attacking. You always come out of your mouth the wrong way. And I blasted her. I said, let me ask you a question. When have you ever denounced anything that had to do with black or brown being attacked or unalived? Name one time.
She can't do it.
I asked her, I said, let's even mention the times where folks were strung up with nooses. Oh, that doesn't happen. I said, you mean to tell me up down in Mississippi, just recently, that baby that was at school, he wasn't unalived by being strung up by a noose? Are you kidding me? Well, then she goes into defense mode again, talking about, well, I don't say that's something good. I can't stand that. I don't believe that for anything. And I have uncles that are black, and I have family members that are Latino. I said, miss me with that. Miss me with that.
That hurts me to hear that. No,
Zeus, when I tell you, I wish you was in there. I tore him a new one. I tore every last one of them a new one.
Well, then, you know what? Good job, Q-Dog. Because I honestly, when it gets to that level with the conversations, I look at it and then I say, these folks, they're too immature. Their brains haven't fully developed. I don't know if they can. And I just can't go there with them. I've used to, so I commend you, WQ Dog. I commend you for putting in some real work with them and not losing it. All right, and I hope genuinely that the ones that were able to receive the truth that you were giving them, they're sitting at home and they're thinking about it, because that's necessary. But it's always just like the devil. See a good time. How can I go up there and figure out how to ruin it? But don't let them ruin it, all right, brother?
Oh, yeah.
Don't let them ruin it.
The worst of it was that Uncle Rucker's.
Don't let them do anything. Don't let them do anything to you. Just stay positive and keep delivering that truth.
Exactly. He comes up there. He comes up there trying to say, "I'm not going to let you talk to her like this." I said, "So you Captain Save him, huh? Is that what this is?" Well, because I called her out on her BS. And the thing of the matter is, she knows exactly what I'm talking about.
And I'll say this because I don't want to give life to things that don't deserve it. You know what I'm saying? No. And I'll say this. Whenever I see stuff like that and I say, okay, so at a certain point, you got to realize if a person is truly in your corner, it's like what you said earlier, Q-Dog, they'll tell you the truth.
Exactly.
And if somebody comes up into your space and tells you, keep on doing what you've been doing. Keep on being bad. Be bad like me. Then you might want to watch out, because that person, they'll put something in your back. If you know what I'm saying. It's
all day long.
It's a proven thing, Caesar, Brutus sort of thing. All right. Now listen.
Well, and I'm gonna land my plane on this one, Zeus. Here's the thing: people will lie in your face, and you won't even see. They didn't even see her lying from A to Z, from the time that she got up to the time they dropped me. Because Wild Man dropped me because I was going in on her.
Yeah.
You're telling me I don't have them on their radar. I barely go into their lives. I don't go into Zeus's life. I barely know Zeus. But how did you know that I was in the comments talking about that fungus toe and you made the comment about it? That means you lurking in the comments, but you don't come to the live.
They're here. They religiously pursue me. And again, I think it's a mixture of lust. I think it's a mixture of jealousy and maybe even curiosity, but whatever it is, I just say this, there's not going to be any excuse for them when they meet their maker and they're asked.
And that's all I told Wild Man. I said, you need to understand between you and DJ, and they were listening to me.
Yeah.
Just like I had a breakthrough. I'm not even going to hold you. I know a lot of people don't like Dame, but I see that Dame has the ability to listen. But the fact of the matter is, your loyalty is so strong for those folks that want to do us harm that you don't want to let that go. That's just like you want to reach your hand out to God, but you still holding on to the devil's hand. Amen. You can't do both. You can't serve both spirits. You can't. And what they don't realize is the day that their reckoning is coming, you gonna have to face not me, not the blue side, not the red side. You're going to have to face God, and he's going to ask you, he ain't going to ask you nothing about the Republicans or the Democrats. He's going to ask you, what did you do on this earth to make it a better place?
Amen.
What did your soul do?
Amen. Tell him, Q-Dog. Now, all right, brother, I got to move it on.
Definitely, bro. Definitely. I got to go get little mama from school.
All right. Fair enough. Wow. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Wow. See, ladies and gentlemen, your sins will find you out. WVIP. Boom! Bring the hammer down. Viking hammer. Thank you. Yeah, and again, I interact with some of those folks on the right because I just like to know when I'm done, when it's all said and done, there won't be any excuse for why they are going down the path of degradation. Let me move on to my good friend, my beautiful, amazing friend, Dr. Keisha Davis. I mean, it's an honor to have you. Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I was laughing when you were saying that the women were after you and they saying they got a man. Because I do have a man for 22 plus years. And I was like, do I sound like that? I's got a man too, y'all.
No, no, it's not. You're in a different space. You're in a different space because, you know, you don't have what they got. They got jungle fever, all right? Serious jungle fever issues.
I do. I do too. The darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. That's what I believe.
Okay, well then you know what? That's fine. But you're not a liar, and you're not full of hate like these people are. And I've never seen or heard you weaponize the fact that you're in a relationship. You know what I mean? Like these people do. They literally try to act like being in a relationship for 32 years is somehow preventing them from doing things that are considered unfaithful, when we all know that's not true, especially with these so-called Christians.
Yeah, and why are they sitting on the app all day too? I question that. I question a lot of people that do that.
Because they ain't never mind, I ain't gonna say it because you're gonna get me in trouble. But you know why? Because the hostage is, please, somebody on TikTok, take them away from me because I can't deal with them.
Oh my gosh. Wow. You also, the individual that came up that was mentioning you getting paid and all this stuff. You know, a lot of people do this stuff for free. You know that. I come on here for free, don't make a dime out of it. The podcast where I deliver information on a bi-weekly basis for free. I spend thousands of dollars on that because I want to make sure it's curated the right way. I build connections and I do it all for free. So do not believe when they say people are just sitting here getting paid. And if they are, that is what their duty is to be. Unfortunately, we need that. We need people on all levels. They do it on the other side. They have doctors, they have teachers that are indoctrinating you.
Yeah. Yeah, tell them, Doc. The thing is, it's called monetized, right? And it doesn't mean you can open up the app and be monetized instantly. And I tell people this all the time because, you know, I used to be the love guru. And the numbers,
Go ahead.
Is that made you chuckle, Doc? No. And that's how I met a lot of the folks, especially on the right. These people are broken. But I was giving them advice in terms of how to just, at the end of the day, be better people. But over time, you know, and you, like you said, you go live, you do something and you get off and you just go on about your day. I genuinely do this because I enjoy doing it. You know what I'm saying? And if you enjoy doing something, you know, then it really isn't about getting compensated. It's really about getting out here and actually being good at your craft. And I think that's true in any industry, so to speak, right?
That is true.
Eventually you put in the work, then, you know, you reap the benefits of doing the work, but you can't avoid doing the work. You know, they say you need to put in like 10,000 hours and stuff like that. And so what you're seeing, honestly, is it's really a polished version. And you can understand when they see a polished version like you and me, man, the lust starts to go up, doesn't it?
Yeah, it happens.
You deal with it. I've seen brothers turn, oh, Doc, I'm sick. Please come put the stethoscope on my chest. You know how they do that. I've seen them. The lust.
The only thing I'm going to put up on them is a microscope.
Yeah.
But listen, I have some good news and some bad news.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have a lot of bad news. So let me burden you first. Let me burden you with the fact that today, within a couple of days, Florida will officially no longer have that immunization mandates. The speak, and we try to withhold it. It's actually going to be implemented. We're in Florida. Your children that may have an immune compromised illness that just want to go to school like the other kids now may not be able to because no one has to be immunized. Among the rising cases, why the hell are we at 1,600 cases of measles? 1600, yet Texas, we're number one. One county, Gainesville, I think has 460 cases. Wow. South Carolina just got 4 new cases over the last day. So they were at 16. They just have 20 cases. And this is just in a couple of weeks, y'all. And do remember, they were all complaining about quarantining during the pandemic. And now 140 unvaccinated students had to stay home because of school exposure. That's going to continue. So you're going to miss more and more school if you don't want to immunize your child. Wow. Anchorage, Alaska just got another case. right? There's barely anybody there. Minnesota now has 21 cases. Every time I turn around, there's a new one. Yep. And the CDC is not tracking this, y'all, but we got Johns Hopkins that has a measles tracker. So we're still getting out the information. The other sad news is that the bird flu, remember I told you that the birds were doing what they do. They were mating. They were busy, procreating the right way with the approval of the woman.
Yeah.
They're done, and now they're migrating. And now France has a national alert of high for the bird flu. They have 5 different flocks, 3 that are actually in poultry, 2 that were in backyards that are now involved with the bird flu. Netherlands, Japan, what have you. The United States, there's actually several, but you won't see those. I had to literally dig to find the several states also have bird flu. So we're going to see a rise again for those who were so happy about the egg prices. Wow. Either that or they're not going to tell you. Now that we don't have the reporting, you may not even know what you're consuming.
And why don't we have the reporting, Doc?
I don't know. You cut those jobs. You got rid of the people in that place first to do the testing. Second, you lowered the requirement for the testing. And 3, reporting to the public. That person, you call that center, you don't get an answer.
Wow,
Yeah.
what a disgrace. And this is what I was saying. They get up here and they try to give Trump credit. And you're saying, where are you getting the information from? Trump's not putting out the information, the real information. He's only putting out information he thinks makes him look good.
Yep. He is. It's scary. I'm going to be really honest. In addition to the flu, we had over 1.1 million severe cases of the flu, with hundreds of thousands of hospitalizations and unalivements. Wow. And we're expecting it to be bad. I think it's China or Japan. They've already had to shut down schools because of the flu cases. There's several countries that are having severe flu illnesses already just now in October. So, be on the alert for that. But you're in California, so you're lucky.
Yeah, well,
A lot of people are lucky.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. Because in addition to the West Coast and East Coast, it's not a battle. It's actually an alliance. Both of them have put forth for immunizations.
Yep.
There's now a governor's public health alliance of 14 states and the Guam territory that are getting together to have access, communication, fund allocation, resources, public emergency preparedness for all public health issues and diseases. They're like, forget the CDC. We're going to band together. Now, I'm in Texas, so I don't know what I'm going to do. Those of us that are in Texas, we will still have to kind of piece together. They're still, again, they can't take science from us. We've got the data and information. It's just going to be harder to get to. But hopefully more governors will come on it. Unfortunately, it's mostly blue-based. So it's the people that truly believe in science. It's blue states that believe in science that are going to be part of this alliance.
Yeah. Well,
shout out to them. They got a website. It's not working yet.
Yeah. What's the name of the website you said?
I'm gonna I don't have it right in front of me, but y'all at 2:30 Central Standard Time, I'm doing a live going over all this in depth. And on my Substack for the Medical Collective, I put the actual links to everything. I'll put that out tonight. But it's the Governor's Public Health Alliance. Yeah, they have an Instagram page.
Tell them, Doc.
Yeah, I mean that's a good thing.
You're investing in the community on the app, and this is what we were saying needs to happen. When you have people taking time out of their busy days, ladies and gentlemen, and sharing their knowledge and their expertise with you, show these folks some love, seriously, because they could be doing so many other things.
Okay. And it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, y'all.
Uh-oh.
Shout out to that. Another good news. I'm going to end with good news. 2 more good news. One good news is that Representative Haley Stevens from Michigan has put forth and drafted the articles of impeachment. Mm-hmm. Dr. Sharon's response is, what the heck is that going to do? We're going to find out. And when I do that recording with her, we're getting the date together. She's going to be on the podcast. Okay. I will put a link in my Substack, and I'll come tell you if you want to be part of the live recording audience. It won't be on TikTok. A lot of people, they're not TikTokers like that, but it will be a live studio audience on Riverside to listen to that conversation.
Wow, That's awesome. So articles of impeachment. I mean, Every day there needs to be a new article drafted up. So that's music to my ears, Doc. Seriously.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it has to start, with a congressperson at least bringing it forth. And she was like, forget this. She posted this quite a few weeks ago that she was doing this. So I would love to pick her brain to find out what all she's going to do, what this will do. And then my last piece is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Among many other things, I'm also recording an episode with my sister. She's finally agreed to share her story. Yes, I have 2 parents with breast cancer, which is, yes, men get it too. This is why I hone on it on my sister as well. It's important to share that story.
Oh, wow.
So,
Wow. Well, thank you for, making that something we all need to be following and keeping up with.
Yeah.
It's increasing awareness at the end of the day. And it's pointing out, honestly, how fragile things are, in your
Very
life.
fragile.
Breast cancer awareness. Yes, I know a lot of
And even
women that-
prostate.
Yeah, prostate too. Yeah. Yeah. What
The
Biden
reason I
has.
say about
Huh?
what I was going to say about prostate and Biden. What about Biden? Well, I'll tell you about Biden. Biden just rung the bell. He finished his radiation treatment.
Let's go, W. Joe
Shout out to
Biden.
the Thriver. That's what. Next time they say, "What about Biden?" Yeah, he
Yeah.
just rang the bell.
Yeah.
He's taking care of his life. He's doing his healthcare.
Yeah, and a lot of people I know are ringing the bell. So that shows that there's progress. All right. So we got to keep up the awareness factor and help people understand why health is very important for us to actually invest in, and hopefully we'll get there at some point in this country. Because I honestly, Doc, I think that we're at a point in this country where the wealthiest country on the planet. This shouldn't be a serious question. This shouldn't be a serious issue whether or not someone, gets the treatment that they need to survive, and doctors get paid what they deserve for the work they're doing. Seriously,
I agree.
This needs to
And
end.
the sad thing is I was watching as KFF reported that there's already, as people are about to do open enrollment, which starts for some next week, that they've already seen a 6% increase in their premiums. And for y'all that, 6%, that's a big thing for a lot of families. So while a new wing is being built and things are being demolished in a White House, people can't even afford the health insurance. And the ACA subsidies are being cut, which are going to more than double people's in 2026.
Yeah.
So while you guys are sitting here, think about that. Your health insurance, your loved one's health insurance are going to change, and they're worried about a freaking ballroom.
What a disgrace. That's sick.
Yeah.
It really is sick. But listen, Doc, I gotta say, you covered a lot, and thank you as always. You said you're going live again today.
2:30 Central Standard Time.
All right.
The afternoon seems to work better for people.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Cover
The
all
morning's
this.
hard. The morning's hard, but it is what it is, and we'll see you then. All right.
All right, take care.
Thank you so much. And right, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Keisha Davis. What a wonderful, beautiful, beautiful person. All around. All right. You can't get real organic love like this, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, listen up. Big Zeus has to wrap it up. All right. I'm looking at the time. I know I hate to go, but I gotta go. I want to say thank you to all of you, all of the wonderful folks who tuned in every morning to listen to what we do. This is definitely one of the most entertaining, engaging, and educational shows out there. I couldn't do it without you, especially for my subscribers, gifters, moderators, and panelists. But I also got to give one last round of booze and shame. Once again, Zeus hater alert. Oh, I can't stand the fact that Zeus is somewhat successful in whatever he's doing. And the hater inside of me just can't help but go up and say things to Zeus like, you don't deserve X, Y, and Z, Zeus, because I'm better than you. All right, well, if you're better than me, prove it. Other than that, do us a favor and go straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA Daily.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, take care, and I will see you all tomorrow. Same Zeus time, same Zeus channel.
Yeah. Gotta wake the chain up. Get injected with some power. Pull some strings. And level up like a king. Came from the trenches, now we ballin' at the top. There's no energy in presidential, watch the ops. Drip too saucy, got the fit, hitting real different. 1600 on the throne, out here looking brilliant. no skibidi. I'm the ghost for sharper than a blade. For attacks, make these clowns pay for all the shade. Bustin' moves, no mid, got the game in a choke. Eat it to doubt, now my Lexi hitting, bitch bespoke. From the Bay to DC, I keep them on their toes. Level up with the blueprint, watch the empire grow. Ghosted all the fakes, now my circle A1. Moving 100, yeah, this race is already run. Bet I'm dripping, got the power, vision crystal clear. Stick with ambition, yeah, making history right here. Ops talking wild, but they cannot touch the throne. Posted in the Oval Office, strapping in the zone. Past the hate, got my foot on the gas. I'm bulletproof, yeah, my aura is built to last. Slack with the plan, moving chestnut checkers. Presidential flex, got my game on my necklace. Level up, you taking over the spot. Get too clean, get it poppin', we ain't gon' never stop. No cap, we lit, yeah, flow on 1,000, 100, 1,605. Presidential, we found it 100. Posted in the capital, moving like I own the block. Riz game presidential, got the nation in a lock. Got the annex, yeah, 100, no facade. Drip celestial, shining brighter than a star. Bet I'm calling shots, got the vision, HD clear. Slack with the moves, turn the dreams into chandeliers. I stay lurking, but they folding under all the pressure. 1,600, I'm the one flexing, I'm the new successor. Stacking legacy bricks, every bar's a new crown. So in the White House, DC is the town. Woke up in the mansion, views from the East Wing prime. Residential, got the poles in the climb. No cap, I'm the vibe, turn the calm in the storm. Got the glow, dropping bombs like I'm reading out a song. Ops trying to glitch, but my code is unbreakable. Skibidi through the storm, legacy unshakable. Chamber through the air, got the city in my grip. Yeah, hitting real potent, make the whole world flip. Busting up my charts, got the game in the trance. Drip too wavy, yeah, make you wanna dance. Level up, we taking over the spot. Drip too clean, get it poppin', we ain't gon' never stop. No cap, we lit, yeah, flow on 1,000, 100, 1,605. Presidential, we found it 100.